Good evening, and welcome to the 2023 Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame Induction Banquet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, would you please stand for our national anthem, sung by Sam Simano from Workforce Snohomish County, a proud daughter and niece to a veteran family, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Enjoy your dinner. We'll begin the program in about 40 minutes. Thank you. we're going to begin the program at 6:45. So you got about 7 minutes and we'll begin the program.
Good evening and welcome to the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet. I was told that the back of the room is just now finally getting served, and please, you cannot eat while we're having the program. No. Continue eating during the program. We don't want to keep you here late, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. I do have an announcement for the inductees and the team. There will be one more group photo following the banquet. So please, inductees, follow the team through that door, and the photographer will be waiting for you because there were quite a few folks that did not get in the first one, and we want to make sure everyone gets that group photo. My name is Frank Foster, and it's an honor to chair the Hall of Fame committee. The Hall of Fame, which is under the umbrella of the Snohomish County Sports Commission, exists to recognize and honor athletes, coaches, teams, and a sports contributor who have distinguished themselves in their sport or vocation on the state, national, or international stage. Tonight's banquet is being live streamed on the Sports Commission YouTube channel. This banquet does not just happen. It's through the hard work and dedication of committee members who work all year planning, organizing, fundraising, and personally contributing to ensure the banquet is a memorable evening for all in attendance. I'd like to at this time introduce committee members. Some are not here tonight, but if you are here and you hear your name, please stand when you hear it. Jim Carter. Jim was a Hall of Fame inductee in 2022. Nathan Cafaro. Nathan is on the Sports Commission staff. Sherry Chambers Wilson. Mike Clemens. Joe Coverson. Tammy Dunn, the Sports Commission Executive Director. Eddie Fernandez. Lori Franklin will not be standing. Oh, she is standing. She's doing our videos tonight. Andy Hall, a 2023 inductee, Rich Haldy. Roberta Hasted, Terry Holloman, Jerry Jensen, a 2018 Hall of Fame inductee. Steve Jensen, Steve Miller, a 2017 Hall of Fame inductee. Martin Napiahi, John Nearing, Greg Riley, Susie Robinson, Christy Simmons, Jane Smoke, Joel Taylor, Larry Walker, Kim Wilson, a 2015 Hall of Fame inductee. Please join in a well-deserved round of applause for the committee members. As shared, the Hall of Fame is under the umbrella of the Snohomish County Sports Commission. We have some Sports Commission members in attendance. Again, would you please stand when your name is called? Kinlan Jackson, Alex McGinty, Shannon O'Kelly, Garrett Studer. Thank you very much, Sports Commission members. This banquet would not happen without the financial support of the following sponsors. And we want to thank you so much. Level 1 sponsors: Coastal Community Bank, Everett Downtown Storage, State Farm Insurance, Tony Edwards, VNN Sports, Sultan High School Turk Pride TV, Dave Moon Advisor. They are filming as we speak. Edward D. Hansen Conference Center. Level 2 sponsors: IRG, Physical and Hand Therapy, Diverse Earthworks, OVG 360. Level 3 sponsors: American Distributing, LLC, Everett Greatest Hits, that's KRKO 1380 AM and 95.3 FM on your dial. We'd also like to recognize table sponsors: the Boxley family, the Casebeer family, Edmonds Community College Athletics. Did I say Edmonds Community College? I'm sorry, that should be Edmonds College Athletics. Everett Community College Athletics. The Haldy family. Friends of Anderson and Casebeer. The Klein family. Lake Stevens High School football coaches. Tom, you better get them a little raise in their pay. Larry Christensen, the Olam family, the Taylor family, the Wardenar and Craver family, the Wilson family, and last but not least, the wrestling officials. Please give all of the sponsors a round of applause. We are always seeking more individuals and businesses to help fund this event. If you are interested or know someone who would be interested, please contact Steve Miller. He'll be glad to meet with you. In addition to the inductees that are on the committee, we have some that have returned tonight. From the class of 2010, Larry Christensen. From the class of 2013, Tom Campbell. From the class of 2015, father and daughter, Lori and Jack DeCubber. The class of 2016, and I don't want anybody messing with this man, Randy Couture. The class of 2017, Harold Pyatt. The class of 2017, Lou Stevenson. The class of 2020, Kim Hammonds. Welcome back to all of the past inductees. Here's a silent auction update. Contributors to silent auction are listed in your program. If you are a winner, you will be notified via text or on your phone. Bid winners can pick up your item after the banquet. Non-winners will also be notified. If you have any questions, please see Nathan or Rachel, and they will be glad to answer your question. The committee would also like to thank the Sultan High School Turk Pride TV for videotaping tonight's banquet. As we shared, this is a live stream on the Sports Commission YouTube. Tonight, we honor athletes, coaches, a sports contributor, and a team, who has gone beyond what the rest of us only dream about. From high school and college standouts to the Herald Man and Woman of the Year, and finally to the Hall of Fame inductees. What a group of honorees. One may ask, what do they have in common? The answer is quite simple. They had dreams, they worked hard, and refused to be deterred from achieving their goal. Gail Devers, the Olympic gold medal track athlete, wrote, "Keep your dreams alive. Understand to achieve most certainly does." On behalf of the Hall of Fame Committee, Sports Commission, and everyone in attendance, I want to congratulate all of tonight's winners and honorees. This is your night. You are meant to be here. And this moment is most definitely yours. You are the stars of tonight's program. Congratulations to all of you. Our Master of Ceremonies is the Sports Director of Everett's Greatest Hits, KRKO 1380 AM and 95.3 FM on your dial, and a recent Hall of Fame inductee. Please welcome Tom Lafferty.
Thank you very much. Let's have some fun. It's time to meet the KRKO Russell and Hill High School female and male athletes of the year. And here to make that presentation is Steve Willits, my co-host of KRKO Radio's Prep Sports Weekly program.
How about a nice round of applause for Tall Tom Lafferty, by the way? He's been hosting this thing since day one. We appreciate you for doing that. He's my co-host, too, so I got to throw him a little love. Well, it is our pleasure once again to do the Everett Herald and Russell and Hill Male and Female Student Athletes of the Year. This is our 7th year of presenting this honor, and needless to say, Snohomish County is not that small of a county. The number of high schools here, the number of athletes, and this isn't just top 10 percentile, top 5 percentile. We choose one male and one female athlete each and every year to present this award to, and we take it seriously too. These are athletes who are very distinguished, not only in terms of what they do on the court or on the mat or on the field. They're also people that embody what we want our communities to be about. They're great student athletes. I think we've got 2 this year that had GPAs of 3.8 or higher, and they're both right now currently at Division I schools. Not only are they students there, but they're also competing in sports. So I think we got a couple of really good ones this year. Speaking of really good ones, again, this is our 7th year of presenting this award, and we've been fortunate that each and every year along the way we have had a fantastic sponsor that's helped us out. Russell and Hill, who very much care about high school sports in the area. Both you and your partner, Matt, I think have kids that have gone through the systems around here, the school systems, and have played sports. So I know it means a lot to you to be able to take part in this. Again, year number 7 as our partnership in this particular award. Many years, I think even prior to that in terms of sponsoring other things. I'd like to call up right now Matt Russell from Russell and Hill, who is the sponsor for this award this year.
Thank you, Steve. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Just briefly, I want to say how proud we are to honor the male and female student athletes of the month every year, and to honor these student athletes of the year tonight because they're truly amazing. A shout out to all the inductees tonight, and not to forget the parents and families and friends and communities that support everybody to make them great, because this is a fantastic community, and I'm proud to be part of that too. So with that, I'll give it back to Steve and say thanks to everybody.
Thank you, Matt Russell. We're going to start off with our female athlete of the year. This one was a pretty easy decision for us, and we should point out too, a lot of criteria goes into choosing these honorees each and every year. We definitely like the word multi-sport athlete. Tom and I have talked about that numerous times. We talk about it on our radio show. We obviously try to advocate athletes that take part in various sports. And we've always kind of said, if you're going to win this award and be a one-sport athlete, you're going to dominate that sport, and you're going to do things that are historical. And our first athlete did just that. We mentioned she's a one-sport athlete in the sense that she competed in one sport, also a member of her school's cheer team during that time. But she excelled at everything she did, in particular when she was on the mat wrestling. Olivia White was a 3-time state champion, the only female wrestling athlete to ever win 3 state championships. And we should also point out, there should be an asterisk next to that, probably would have won a 4th, but COVID wiped out the 2021 tournament. So she won the state championship her freshman year, her junior year, and her senior year. And oh, by the way, her record at the Tacoma Dome, 12-0. This isn't the Mat Classic. This is the state championship tournament. 12 wins, no losses, 11 pins. Absolutely. She won the state championship this year, pinning her opponent in 50 seconds. She was ranked 2nd in the nation in her weight class. Her overall record while in high school, 113 wins and 2 losses. I think those 2 losses came out of state, if I remember right. She was wrestling at the national level. She was wrestling against national athletes. 34-0 as a senior. I think 34 pins, if I remember correctly, too. All 34 wins were by way of pin. By the way, she also had a 3.84 GPA, and she officiated younger wrestlers, so she was very active in that regard, too. So a tremendous student athlete, a 3-time state champion, the 2022-2023 Russell and Hill KRKO Female Student Athlete of the Year, Olivia White from Marysville-Pilchuck High School. And we should point out this year, first year ever, a Power 5 school at the Division I level, scholarshiping wrestlers, the University of Iowa, very prestigious wrestling program as far as the males for all these years. They finally have a female program this year. Olivia is one of their first ever wrestling athletes there. So she's back in Iowa right now wrestling for the Hawkeyes. So picking up this award in her honor, Andy and Craig White, her mom and dad. Olivia White. Well, we just talked about multi-sport athletes. We've got one coming up right here. He dominated not only on the wrestling mat, but also on the football field. I was going to say last year, but really for multiple years. Ryder Bumgarner from Stanwood High School. How about these stats? His senior year, 2,486 yards rushing, 25 touchdowns scored. He had 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns the year prior to that, so that's almost 4,000 yards rushing. All-state running back. That's a lot of carrying right there. That's a lot of yards. Could have easily justified taking defense off, right? He was all-area on defense as well. The Everett Herald all-area defensive team. Helped Stanwood get to their first state tournament in football in 25 years. His junior year, and then they did it again his senior year. So did something historic there in terms of Stanwood. He had 309 yards rushing against Marysville-Pilchuck. Sorry, Tommies, if you're out there, which was a school record for Stanwood. And oh, by the way, also a really, really good wrestler as well. 3-time state qualifier in wrestling. His senior year last year took 3rd place in state at the 3A 170-pound weight classification. A very tough classification, I might add. So one of the tougher state classifications in the state. 3rd place in state, and helped the Spartans to a 3rd place finish in state as a team that year. Also a tremendous student athlete. He's over at the University of Washington right now as a preferred walk-on football player. Go Dogs. And so he's not here tonight. He's a little bit busy playing football for the Purple and Gold, but joining us here are his parents. The 2022-2023 Russell and Hill KRKO Male Student Athlete of the Year, Ryder Bumgarner from Stanwood High School. And Ryder's parents, Michelle and Reed Bumgarner, are here on his behalf to accept the award. All right, once again, we just, from KRKO, on their behalf, I want to thank Russell and Hill for all of their support. Thank you to the Snohomish County Sports Commission for everything you do in making this a possibility. And congratulations to all the inductees tonight. Thank you.
We've met the high school athletes of the year. Now let's meet the Snohomish County Collegiate Female and Male Athletes of the Year. Here's Sean Sims, assistant women's basketball coach at Edmonds College, to make the first presentation.
Hi, everybody. I want to talk about Rayleigh Wardenera. So Rayleigh is a 2-year women's basketball athlete. She played and contributed to softball her freshman year for fun. Rayleigh is a 2-time team captain for basketball, 1-time Coaches Award winner for basketball, and this past school year she was named Edmonds College Female Athlete of the Year. Rayleigh received her AA last spring with a 3.46 GPA and is now attending PLU, where she's playing basketball, and she is majoring in radiology science. On top of all of this, Rayleigh was our light on our basketball team. Rayleigh, so we have an acronym that we call HERE. What that means is humble, encouraging, respectful, and involving. Rayleigh is that. So Rayleigh, this is our 2nd year in our program. Rayleigh was there for us both those years. So that's every girl that comes in our program, we base it on Rayleigh Wardenauer going forward. So I'd like to give it up for our 2022-2023 Collegiate Female Athlete of the Year, Rayleigh Wardenauer. tell me good job. All right, now to introduce the Male Collegiate Athlete of the Year. Please welcome Everett College Head men's soccer coach, Kieran Rainey.
Good evening. It's an exciting time for my program. We obviously found out that River won this award. And we also found out that we were ranked number 6 in the country this week too, so it's an exciting time. Had to throw that in there. We're excited about it. Super blessed to be here and to be the soccer coach at Everett. This program has come a long way. And to see the kind of caliber of player that we're producing and pulling, it's phenomenal to watch, and I hope it continues to grow, and River's contribution to that is only going to help. So I brought my notes up here because I want to get all of his stats right. River became the most prolific goal scorer in EVCC men's soccer history this last season when he scored 30 goals in the 2022 season to bring his career total to 46, shattering the previous EVCC career high record of 26 goals, so 20 more. River now holds the single-season goal-scoring record at Everett, the career goal-scoring record, the single-season points leader record of goals and assists of 66, and career points of 103. In 2 seasons with Everett, Stewart has 12 multiple-goal games, including a big 3-goal performance in overtime against Lane to send us to the NWAC quarterfinals. It's our second time ever doing that. I think the last was 1985, so it's been a minute. River was named for the second time North Region Most Valuable Player and was also named the NWAC Baden Player of the Year. He's considering multiple different options for continuing his career, but I'm excited to introduce River Stewart. Do you want to say anything? He doesn't want to say anything. Thank you.
We're honoring the best performances and performers of the past year in Snohomish County. We'll be hearing from our keynote speaker and meet the 2023 inductees in just a little bit. Now, as part of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame evening, we honor the Herald 2022-23 Man and Woman of the Year in Sports. There was a scheduling conflict with us folks from the Daily Herald, so you get me to make the presentations. The intros were written by Nick Patterson, sports columnist for the Herald. Time for the Man of the Year. This individual has built a dynasty as the head coach of the Lake Stevens High School football team, and 2022 was the year he and the Vikings finally reached the pinnacle. During his 19 seasons at the helm of Lake Stevens, he's compiled a 156-46 record, and the Vikings currently have a 54-game Wesco winning streak that dates back to 2014. The one thing missing was a state championship, something that eluded Lake Stevens when it lost state championship games in 2018 and 2021. But the long wait ended last year. The Vikings overcame a pair of early season losses to finish 12-2, outscoring their opponents 578 to 277 in the process. Lake Stevens then powered its way through the playoffs, finishing with a 24-22 victory over Kennedy Catholic in the Class 4A state championship game. It was Lake Stevens' first football state title, and it was the first time a Snohomish County school won the large school classification state championship since Cascade won the AAA title in 1991. The Herald Man of the Year in Sports, head coach of the Lake Stevens High School Vikings, Tom Try.
First of all, a little nervous being up here. You wouldn't think that being a football coach. But I just want to say thank you. Start by saying thank you to my coaching staff over here. Really honored to receive this award, but in all reality, this is a team award. It's a group award. I've got the best coaching staff in the state. They're all here tonight, and it's been a long time coming. We've been pushing hard, and we finally were able to get over the hump. But I just want to say thank you guys for persevering and sticking with us and finding a way to go win a state championship. So thanks, fellas. Also want to say thank you to my wife, Tara, and my two daughters, Carly and Haley. They're both sport athletes as well. Both play volleyball, which is also at the same time of football season, and they have had to make sacrifices from the time that they were born until last year when Haley finally graduated from Lake Stevens. Both of them were fortunate enough to play in a state championship. One played in 2018. The other one played in 2021, and their father didn't get to see them play because we were playing in a state playoff football game that same time. And so I apologize for missing those two of the most important games in your guys' life, but I know that you knew that I was with you, and I'll make it up to you in another way sometime in the future. Thanks for being supportive and sacrificing all those years. Also, real quick, throwing a curveball at you, but I know Rich Haldy is in where are you, Rich? There he is. For those that don't know, Rich was my neighbor. My dad actually was nominated for this award back in 1967 or 68, or an award very similar to this by the Herald. They won a baseball state championship. I have two older brothers who played on the team, and unfortunately, my dad died when I was 6, and I got lucky enough to live next to the Haldys, and Mark and Eric, who were also in attendance tonight. It was fun growing up with them. We were always playing sports outside, whether it was basketball, football in the backyard, baseball, but Rich was always there supporting me, and Barb, his wife. You guys really helped shape who I am today, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. It really does mean a lot. I'm now back doing what I love to do and sharing that same passion with young individuals for 19 straight years. So thank you for help molding me. Appreciate it. Congratulations on being inducted in the Hall of Fame. Go Lake Stevens.
Now it's time for the Woman of the Year. In 2023, this individual completed a stellar 5-year career with the Washington Huskies softball team and capped it off by producing one of the most iconic moments in the storied program's history. The Snohomish High School graduate played left field and batted second for the Huskies in 2023, compiling a .352 batting average with 8 home runs and 34 RBI as she led Washington to a 44-15 record and a berth in the Women's College World Series. She was named second team All-Pac-12 for the 3rd straight year, and she was honored as third team All-American by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association. Her most memorable moment saved Washington's season and prevented her career from coming to a premature end. At the regionals, the Huskies trailed McNeese 6-0 heading into the 7th inning of the winner-take-all game. With 2 out and 2 strikes, Reynolds lined a double to left center that cleared the bases and tied the score at 6. She later came around to score to give the Huskies the lead, then made a sliding catch in the bottom of the 7th to help preserve one of the biggest comebacks in college softball history. The Herald Woman of the Year in Sports, Sammy Reynolds, softball player from Snohomish High School and the University of Washington.
Changed my hair a few times since those photos, but just thank you so much, first of all. I really appreciate it. It's crazy to me that just a few months ago I could be at the College World Series in front of 10,000 people and not be nervous at all, but right now I'm sweating profusely. But anyway, thank you. Both of my role models are here with me tonight. My roots, someone who was there teaching me every step of the way about the game of softball, my aunt and coach from the time I could put a T-ball helmet on until I was 16 years old, Patty Landy. And then alongside her, my incredible college and lifelong coach, Heather Tarr, who took a chance on a scrawny little Snohomish kid. Without them, I would not be able to have experienced the things in sports that I did get to experience. So I'm very grateful for you both. Thank you so much again. I know I said it 3 times now, but thank you so much. And I don't know you all, but I love you all. Thank you.
Our keynote speaker this evening is a graduate of Lake Washington High School, played basketball at the University of Washington and overseas. He's the founder of Watts Basketball and the Watts Foundation. Please welcome our keynote speaker, Donald Watts.
Thank you. All right, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm a little disappointed to be here today in this capacity. Got a text message about the Snohomish County Hall of Fame, and I thought I was being inducted. For my time at the Everett explosion, I guess it wasn't that significant. No, really, I'm thrilled and honored to be here. Anytime, well, first of all, it's just an honor to be anywhere with people. After the last couple years that we've had with COVID, it's great to see everybody out, everybody looking good. Most of us got a couple extra LBs that I'm committed to working off here this next year, but it's just great to be out of the house and just looking at family every day. So I think we all need to always kind of, after we had that experience, count our blessings when we gather and really appreciate moments and situations like these going forward. So I'll say that. But it's always an honor and pleasure as a sportsman to be around fellow sportsmen. One of the things my college coaches used to say is, and I didn't believe them at the time, like, these are the best years of your life. I don't know. I was like, I plan on a lot of bigger and better things. But when you look at it, and you go on to grow, and you go on to do things, right? But I don't think there's anything bigger and better than being on your high school team, being with fellow classmates, having a common goal, working together, achieving excellence, learning the discipline and the things that it takes to be a sportsman. If you guys can do me a favor, we're going to do a little, can I get 5 claps? That was weak. 5 claps. That's that. You guys, all you guys that are sportsmen out here, you guys feel that energy. You guys have been in practices and just having those moments where you come into the circle, clapping together, gathering around a common goal and common denominator is what it's all about, right? And when we're in this, I see so many familiar faces. I see faces that aren't familiar, but are familiar because we're sportsmen. If you can repeat after me, when I say once a sportsman, I want you guys to say always a sportsman. Once a sportsman. Once a sportsman. So if I can leave you with something today, it's that spirit, that energy, right? And there's a quote, Nelson Mandela said, sport has the power to change lives. He said it has the power, no, I'm sorry. That's why we have iPhones. I'm gonna get this right. I have the habit of butchering things. And I'm gonna ask you guys to do a couple other things before we get out of here too. Sports has the power to change the world. Sports has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language that they understand. If you agree with that, say yeah. If you agree with that, say yeah. All right, I agree with that for the most part. All right, the part that I think that we really need to understand about that is it's not about sport itself. It's about people in sport. It's about coaches in sport. It's about teammates in sport. Sport itself is nothing. without you, without me, without referees, without officials, without challenge, without all of those things that we learn from sport. And obviously Mandela wasn't wrong, and I'm not arguing with Nelson Mandela, but I wouldn't dare. He did wonderful things for the world, but I think it's important that we remember that it's the Larry Walkers in sport, right, that make things special. It's the Seamus Boxleys in sport that make things special and make me feel old at the same time. Quick story about just tonight, right, when you get together, and I remember Seamus coming up, and if I remember anything about him, by the time I remember him, he was a problem. He was hard to deal with on the basketball court. But today, he reminded me of something, and this is the special thing about sport. He reminded me of something that I didn't know anything about. He told me, and his mom was standing next to him, so I believe he was telling the truth when he said it. He said, yeah, man, we used to be on the court at SPU. I remember that. I used to go home and tell my mom, hey, I was on the court with Donald. I was on the court with Donald Watts, yeah. Same court, we were on the same team. We did. And for me, at that time, I remember him, but I don't remember him from that time. But what I heard from him is that I inspired him. It wasn't intentional. It was just sport. It was just being who we are in sport. It's a young man who aspired to play college basketball. I saw his grit, I saw his grind, I saw his hustle. I didn't know who he was till later. He introduced me. I might have dunked on me once or twice, but I might have dunked on him 5 or 6 times. But that's how we do in sports, and it's such a small thing, but so many of the faces I see in here that I recognize, that we may not, say, oh, Mr. Walker, like playing in your gym and just all the influence, and then watching you. I asked you about your grandkids growing up, had an impact on me. We impact people in ways that we cannot even imagine. But what I ask that we do, right, and with all the greatness that's in this room, is that we be intentional about that as sportsmen. Once a sportsman? Always a sportsman. Once a sportsman? Always a sportsman. All right, here we go. So that's my message for today. Now I have an ask of you, all right? First I'll say that everywhere I go, I'm Donald Watts, Jr., son of Slick Watts. And what's the number one question I get everywhere I go? You guys think? Huh? How's your dad doing? How's your pops doing? So we'll get that out the way. My father had a stroke a couple years ago. It's been really difficult. It's been really challenging. Without the people in my life, without the lessons I learned through sport, I'm taking care of him. I'm his caregiver. We have an in-house caregiver. I'm his guardian. I'm responsible for his life going forward. How my father is doing, he's doing fine. He's 2 years into it. He's steady. Doctor came over yesterday. All his vital signs are good. He's limited in his speech and in his mobility. But there are things that we go through in life. I've stepped up, taken the responsibility, taken accountability for him in his life. And I've done that because of the relationship we built through. He's my father, but everybody don't do that for their kids. Everybody doesn't do that for their dad. But it's because of the relationship we built through sport. Once a sportsman? Always a sportsman. Once a sportsman? Always a sportsman. And I'll tell you guys this. I was at the gym the other day, and I'm going to close on this. And I run a basketball academy, and we work on basic stuff that makes a big difference. So we're working with the kids on dribbling with your head up. Sounds pretty basic, but not a lot of people do it, right? So I tell the kids, I say, if you can't, you got 2 weeks. If you can't dribble with your eyes up, you're no longer going to be allowed to dribble in my gym. So I give them a little time, and then we're working on it. Kids' eyes are down. And this is the example of once a sportsman. Always a sportsman. Once a sportsman. Always a sportsman. I'm working with my father on walking again. Right? We get rid of his walker. You don't need that. it's tough, but I also kind of like, I remember being in the gym with him and the left-hand layups. He's like, you got 1,000 left-hand layups. 1,000? If you don't do them, you ain't gonna eat. I'm like, oh, 1,000, I'll do them. So now here we are, years later, and I'm trying to work with him on walking again. Hey, put your walker away. He's reaching for his, no, you don't need that, I got you, I'm right here with you. And I stand on the side of him where he can't reach for me, but I hold him up so he can get confidence walking again. And he's walking, and I tell the kids this, get your head up. The kids are right here, and they're dribbling like this, and I'm behind them. And I say, get your eyes up. And they say, Coach, my eyes are up. I said, no, they're not. So I say, is my head up? You guys tell me, are my eyes up right now? Are my eyes up now? So the kid tells me, you can't see my eyes, you're standing behind me. So I do that, I tell him that. Then I told him about me walking with my dad. Once a sportsman.
Always a sportsman.
My dad's walking and he's not confident walking, and he's looking at the floor. Dad, get your eyes up. Dad, get your eyes up. Dad, see up the court. That's our cue, right? And because of our relationship, he's 72 years old, he's had a stroke, he can't express himself. We're in a fight for his resources. We're now in a fight to keep him out of a nursing home. I'm passionate about that because we speak the same language. We speak sport. I got my language from him. We're sportsmen. Once a sportsman.
Always a sportsman.
He's 2 years into a stroke, trying to learn to walk again, and if I say, get your eyes up, no response. I say, look up the court, his eyes are up, and he's walking proud, all right? So that's the value of sport, all right? It teaches us how to overcome challenge. It gives us a language. It brings us together. I'm honored to be here with you all. I'm always honored to be in a group of sportsmen, in a room full of sportsmen, but I'm really honored to be in the room today with a group of great sportsmen being honored to go into the Hall of Fame, and I'm really not mad. I did not expect to go into the Hall of Fame because of my time with the Everett Explosion. I actually almost forgot my time with the Everett Explosion until I came out to this arena. I was like, oh man, I used to play here. Anyway, thank you. We look forward to meeting and greeting, taking a picture with all the inductees. Thank you.
Before we start the induction ceremony for 2023, please stand and stretch. You've got 60 seconds.
I want you guys to do something for me real quick because you guys everybody asked me. On 3, all right? So you guys are going to get me out of trouble tonight. I'm out a little later than Pops would want me to be. On 3, if you guys can say, get well slick for me so I can play this video for him. Can you guys do that for me? Yeah. Okay. You guys know who Slick is? Yeah. I don't have to pull my headband out, do I? I'm going to tell him you didn't know who he was. How about that? All right, on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, once a sportsman.
Okay, here we go. We begin the induction ceremony for Snohomish County Hall of Fame class of 2022. And we begin with the sports contributor. Rich Haldy is a 1959 graduate of Rogers High School in Spokane. Since that day when he got his diploma, he's done everything. No, I mean it, he's done everything. Rich played baseball at Washington State. At Snohomish, he was a math teacher and a football, basketball, and tennis coach. Then how does this happen? Rich left Snohomish in April 1966 and accepted an appointment to Air Force Officer Training School to become an air navigation officer. 2 tours in Vietnam. When he returned to Snohomish County after serving our country, Rich became the Everett Community College Student Activities Associate Director until his retirement in 2008. Since that time, he's worked tirelessly as a founding member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame Committee and its ambassador and memorabilia chair. Rich was inducted into the Northwest Athletic Conference Hall of Fame in 2008 and into the Everett Community College Athletic Hall of Fame in 2019, and we have a video. Please welcome the newest member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame, Rich Haldy.
How'd you like that video? How'd you like that video? Like that? You know who did it? Well, it's my kid over there, Eric Haldy. And Mark probably helped him. So one thing you don't want to do with Eric is play Pictionary with him. Big time and fast. So anyway, thank you so much, Frank, Tom. Tom was great. Can I tell a story about Slick Watts? It's a good one. It's a good one. We were at some function back in 25 years ago, probably, and there was and Slick was some kind of he's in one of the convertibles in the parade around the track. And everybody's cheering for Slick. And we're sitting there, our sons were with us, Mark and Eric. And there was this couple sitting next to us, and everybody is just cheering like crazy for Slick Watts, because everybody knew him. Except the couple next to us. They didn't know who he was. So all of a sudden, the couple next to us, one of them said, "Who in the hell is Slick Watts?" That was kind of funny. Anyway. My wife Barbara and I went to Washington State many years ago, and I met her at a fraternity dance when she was on a blind date with some other fraternity brother. But he lost, you know? And that was 61 years ago. No, wait a minute. No. 63 years ago. I said that because I know she'll correct me. But anyway, we've been married 59 years. How about that? Yeah.
So what do? We get hired at Snohomish for our first job. She's teaching English in the high school, and I'm teaching math in the junior high, coaching football, basketball, and tennis. And but before that, I just want to tell you about this dance at the fraternity 63 years ago. I don't know if you all believe or ever thought of, if you ever thought there was love at first sight. I never really believed that, right? I didn't. But I started thinking about it. I do believe in love at first sight now. I really do. So, Barbara, where are you? There she is, yeah. And she's been a really good supporter all the time. And so have our kids, Mark and Eric. If she and I wanted to go to some sporting event when they were small and kids were little guys, where are you guys going? We tell them, we got a babysitter for you. No, we're going with you. Whenever we went to a sporting event, they wanted to go. Okay, here we go. So now back to Snohomish. My second year, Dick Armstrong wanted me to coach the 9th grade football the next year. And I'm thinking, I'm 22, 23. I can't do that. What do I know about it? So anyway, I did it. And you know who my assistant coach was? Jack the Cover. Can you believe that? He's the head coach, and he's my assistant coach, the 22-year-old guy. Anyway, Jack here's tonight, and we had a great time, Jack. And the one time the principal didn't like our conduct from over at Evergreen School, you took the guys to the bus right away after the game, and I had to listen to the principal. But that's okay. Cliff Gillies bailed us out. Anyway, Jack, you were my mentor, and you really didn't know it. Thank you. So now we're back to, so I've been in the Air Force for 5 years. I'm trying to figure out, okay, now what am I going to do? Took a few courses at USC. No, Frank told me he's going to gong me in 3 minutes. He's not. Okay, let me see where I was. Okay, where was I? So anyway, I'm getting out of the Air Force, and I wanted to be a student services employee in a higher education, and I got offered a job at Everett Community College as Associate Director of Student Activities, not really knowing that this kind of loose line of work was going to be a dream job, but it was. I did that for 37 years, Associate Director of Student Activities, Director of Student Activities, Dean of Students, Vice President for Student Services, and during that time, athletics was under my scope of responsibility for 30 of those years. And once we hired Larry Walker as an athletic director, that's when we started to boom and went from 4 sports to 11 sports in just a matter of a few years. And now Garrett Stewart and Lori Franklin, who's my successor, and Garrett, Larry's successor, they're just moving that forward and getting even better and better. So where are they? Where's that Everett table? Oh, you guys are way over there. Randy Smith and all those coaches. Larry went out and got all those coaches. Once we got it going, Larry went to work, got the coaches, got the fields, got everything else, and now it's going great guns. So I'm probably going to get gonged here in a minute. And I don't care because that doesn't mean I'll stop, but this is really an honor for me. I love doing what I did. I coached a lot of youth sports, went to all the college games, coached some of those Cascade some of them in baseball, some of them in both soccer and baseball. So it's just been great. And I'm done talking, and thank you so much, and I'm really honored by this award. Thank you again.
You and Donald are going to take the picture.
How many in here wanted to be a basketball player or a fireman when they grew up? Yeah. This guy got to do both. Seamus Boxley is a 2000 Mount Lake Terrace High School graduate where he was a star for the Hawks, playing for coach Roger Ottmar. As a senior, he was named Wesco Player of the Year and selected to the Associated Press and Seattle Times All-State First Team. The 2000 Terrace team had a perfect 20-0 regular season record and went to the 3A state tournament and lost to Garfield in the quarterfinal round. After high school, Seamus played at Portland State University. He was 2001 Big Sky Freshman of the Year, 2005 Big Sky Conference Player of the Year, two-time Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year, and two-time first-team All-Big Sky honors. He led Portland State to the school's first Big Sky basketball championship in 2005. After college, Boxley played professionally in the National Basketball Development League. He played one season with the Tulsa 66ers, then spent a decade in the Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Ukraine, and Belgium. Seamus is currently a Seattle firefighter. He was inducted into the Portland State Athletic Hall of Fame, and in 2014, the Mount Lake Terrace Athletic Hall of Fame. Would you please welcome now the newest member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame, Seamus Boxley.
Mr. Haldy, I'm going to do my best to back that one up. Yeah, real quick for me, always got to thank God. God is good, and he's blessed me so much in my life. And constantly, I'm always just looking up and asking, man, why me? But, man, thank you. So, thank you. I want to thank all the people that are responsible for the voting and getting me up here to receive this award. I really am humbled. And when I've received things or had success in basketball and in life, at a young age, I realized it's not just because of me. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears on my end, but to be honest, I wouldn't be here with a lot of support and a lot of help from a lot of people. And a lot of them, and the more important ones are here today, are Coach Ottmar, Coach Sood, still here, still behind me, still supporting me. I appreciate it. And most importantly, my family. I'm nothing without them. I would not be here if it wasn't for you, and I love you guys, and extremely thankful for you. And then lastly, just to thank the game and basketball. What basketball has done for me in my life is unimaginable. And no way I ever thought that I'd be receiving Hall of Fame awards and be standing up here and being honored like this. And to be honest, I just love playing the game. Fell in love with it at a young age and had some success with it, and then just became addicted to it, you know? Yeah, obviously thankful for guys like Donald Watts back here, D. Watts, I was telling him that story, but he did inspire me. I was watching this guy on TV, and all of a sudden I'm on the basketball court with him and getting to play ball. He's like talking to me and telling me what to do, and then, yeah, I would go home to my mom like, yo, man, I was on the court with D. Watts, and he passed me this ball, we ran this thing and all this. Yeah, I don't know about getting dunked on 5 or 6 times, but I don't remember that part, but you know what I'm saying? But we damn sure could, no doubt. No. Yeah, no, basketball's done a lot for me, and it continues to. You know, even as you guys heard, being in the fire department now, like making recruit academy is extremely difficult and tough, but for me it was like training camp. And I think that basketball and some of the hard things that I had to endure helped me become a firefighter, helped me be a good team player, helped me be a role model, helped me serve. So I'm super humbled and honored to receive this award. Thank you so much.
A couple of years after John Brockman graduated from high school, I was interviewing Coach Len Bone before a game, and John's name came up, and Coach said, you know, when John played for us, I was a really good coach. Well, when John played for anybody, that made them a really good coach. John graduated from Snohomish High School in 2005, where he led the Panthers to three state basketball tournament appearances. Some of the matchups between Brockman Snohomish and Ryan Appleby's Stanwood Spartans were A, epic, and B, sold out. I'm sure they've never had a bigger crowd at the Marysville Pilchuck Gym. John played in the McDonald's All-American game his senior year. Then at the University of Washington, he was second all-time leading scorer, all-time leading rebounder, team captain, University of Washington Athletic Hall of Fame 2021, first team All-Pac-10 2007 2000. Remember the Pac-10? I'm sorry. Too soon? John was then drafted in the 2009 NBA draft in the second round, 38th overall by the Portland Trail Blazers. He was then later traded to Sacramento and played for the Milwaukee Bucks. Like Seamus Boxley, Brockman finished his career with a 4-year stint playing in Europe. Right now, John is coaching boys 7th grade basketball at Granite Falls Middle School. Now here's John Brockman, 2023, a member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame.
All right. If I catch a cramp while I'm up here, I've been clipping pumpkins for the past 3 days. I'm a pumpkin farmer now, if you guys didn't know. That's a shameless plug there. But I'd like to thank everyone who helped put this event on. It's amazing. And also congratulate all the other inductees and athletes. I was blessed to have some really fantastic, great coaches in my time playing here in Snohomish County. Coaches who dedicated weekends and weeknights and time and energy and effort into just making me a better basketball player. So I'd like to kind of go through a list of 4 coaches. The first one's a guy named Gary Doty. Some of you may know him or maybe could have heard him in a gym if you were in a gym around my time. He was loud, he was mean, but he was one of the most caring coaches I had. There were times after games in high school where he would wake me up the next morning flashing his lights into my bedroom because I might not have done very well at the free throw line that night. And we'd go and we'd get reps shooting free throws in the gym the next morning. So Gary was just an unbelievable coach for me and someone who dedicated a ton of his time. The next person is a guy named Jim Marsh. He coached me with the Seattle Friends of Hoop. And Jim's no longer with us, but Jim, another guy who just dedicated weekends and weeknights and training sessions, someone who took me all over the country and allowed me to really show what I could do on the basketball court. Can't say enough about Jim. Next coach is Len Bone, my high school coach. And Len was also my neighbor, and his son was my age, or is my age, Grady. We were teammates going all the way through elementary school, middle school, high school, but also just an unbelievable coach. And Len actually trained me in the summers at Snohomish High School when I was playing professionally. So I can't thank Len enough. And then the last one is my first coach and the only coach who's here today, and that's my dad, Gordy. He was my first coach. He coached me until 6th grade, and he did something pretty amazing. After 6th grade, he stopped coaching me, and he allowed other coaches to inspire me and teach me things, and never stepped in their way, but he was always there after games just to lend an ear about how I felt about the games, but also give suggestions. And I can't thank you enough, Dad. Thanks for all the time you put in and all the tournaments and practices, and I can't ever repay you for that. So he was also out there clipping pumpkins with me the last 2 days. So thank you once again. I'm honored. Fabulous night. And one last time, if you guys want to buy some pumpkins, come on out to my farm.
Gina Carbonado was a 2003 graduate of Lake Stevens High School, where she was a 3-sport varsity athlete. Carbonado was named first team All-Wesco, first team All-Area in both softball and basketball. She led both teams to the state tournament, with the softball team placing in the top 5 at state. Then Gina headed to the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California to play softball. She was the Big West Freshman Player of the Year in 2004, voted the team's most valuable player in 2004, 2006, and 2007. She was voted the team's most inspirational player from 2004 all the way straight through to 2007. In 2006, she was named the Big West Co-Softball Player of the Year and Big West Scholar Athlete of the Year. Carbonado's jersey number 2 was one of the 2 ever retired by the University of the Pacific in 2012. After graduating in 2007, Gina was invited to the USA Olympic softball camp, and following her playing career, Gina was an assistant coach at the University of Washington, where she helped them to their first national championship in 2009. Then assistant coach at her alma mater, Pacific. Then she helped lead the Tigers to their first conference championship in 2011. Currently, the head softball coach at Santa Clara University. Please welcome the newest member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame, Gina Carbonado.
There's a lot of you here. I think the field and the court was my stage, and to be up here right now is terrifying. I'll give it a go. Thanks for coming to support the wonderful event here. To all the other inductees, it's an honor, and to all the past inductees, it's nice to be on stage with you from the past. So, I moved to Lake Stevens at age 8. It's a special place, not only for sports and opportunity, but for me, it's the people. That's my child. I have to give some thanks tonight to the people who no longer know me, probably, and I don't remember their names, but all the cul-de-sac home run derbies, Harlem Globetrotters, I told you I'd give it the shout out, pretending we were like stars in basketball. The driveway, skipping rocks into the lake, and then playing American Gladiators in the yards. Those are things we did. I grew up in this great county, playing outside in the neighborhood and for the city sports leagues, becoming a little jock. It's not surprising to have my 3 most impactful coaches here today. First, my father. He's a golfer, and for some reason he thought he knew how to coach a softball swing. And there's definitely some crossover. It's not quite the same, but I do think our guess and check process worked out all right. You taught me much more than skills. You taught me about life through the beautiful stage of sport. Margot, you coached me against my 3rd grade basketball team, so my first year in Lake Stevens, and you had to guard somebody within an arm's length, right? So that it wasn't like Bumblebee basketball. So whoever I guarded stood in the corner, and they played 4-on-4 in basketball. And my mom was like, "Who's that coach?" Well, for the next, 10 years living in Lake Stevens, she picked me on her team, and that was a smart move. You taught me to be creative, love the game, and to win. Also, you still owe me a skirt because you didn't let me play high school tennis because it crosses over a softball, so she hasn't paid up for that yet. Coach Tarr, currently UW's head coach as well as USA's Olympic head coach, but to me, you're HT. You trained me to become an All-American my freshman year of college. You took a leap of faith in me as a 21-year-old coach, and we won a natty together at UW. I'll never forget when you asked me if I thought I'd play before my freshman first game. Little naive Snohomish County girl playing college softball in California, I just said, I hope I play. And I just want you to know you taught me to be my best as well as become a leader. I also have many family and friends here, teammates, and this is an honor to them as well. I give them a very important thank you because without these people in my life, it would not have been as deep as my life has been because of sport. It's an honor to you all as well, my family and friends. I couldn't have gotten to this stage without you. And to my wife, who's holding the baby that's annoying right now, lovely. Coaching sport brought us together, and we now have a wonderful daughter, Lachlan. And I really, really hope she loves sport as much as everyone in this room. She had no choice being here we're all here because we love sport, so hopefully she loves sport. I just have to say, I get to coach this game still and be a mom because of the sacrifices you make every day for our family. Thank you for the honor, Snohomish County. You provided me with my playground, and I'm still the little jock that just wants to play, and I'm currently still doing that through coaching. Thank you very much.
Erica Klein is a 1989 graduate of Edmonds High School, where she competed in cross country, basketball, and track and field. Erica was a member of the Tigers' 1985 state championship girls cross country team. In '86, they finished second. In '87, they won the state title again. In '88, they placed second again. You can also throw in some individual state championships in the state track meet in the spring. Then at the University of Oregon, she was a 4-year letter winner in cross country and track and field. Competed as a member of the 1990 and 92 University of Oregon Pac-10 Championship cross country team, and competed at the NCAA National Cross Country Championships. Adding to her already impressive resume, Erica earned all academic first team Pac-10 honors in cross country and track and field, received the University of Oregon Jackson Award, and was named Most Outstanding Female Senior Student Athlete in 1993. Additionally, in '93, she was named the University of Oregon NCAA Woman of the Year, the Women's 92-93 Pac-10 Conference Medal for U of O, and the Everett Herald's Woman of the Year in Sports. Needless to say, Erica Klein is a runner of the first order. And as of tonight, she's a member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame. Please welcome Erica Klein.
Sounds. I miss those little sounds because my kids are almost grown now. First of all, I want to say congratulations to all of the other inductees and the past inductees. It's a great honor to be with this amazing group of people as I hear all of the things that they've accomplished. I also want to thank the Snohomish County Sports Commission for this lovely event. Thank you to the committee who selected me and all of these other nominees. As well as thanking the people who put on this event tonight, Tammy Dunn and the rest of the people from the Snohomish County Sports Commission. Really appreciate your efforts because this has just been a wonderful event tonight. Just a couple things as I reflect on the past and today. I just want to say that I really feel thankful. I'm thankful to have grown up here in Snohomish County. I grew up in Edmonds, and I had wonderful opportunities to play youth sports. I had the best high school coach for track ever in Tom Campbell, who's a member of this Hall of Fame and is here tonight, and I'm thankful for him for being here. I actually grew up on the same street where he had lived down the street at some point. You have to love all the connections that people make in this area. I also had a wonderful high school basketball coach who was my junior high track coach, Mike Pittis, and he too is here this evening. And in high school, I ran. That's what was talked about. But I also played basketball, and we were the only team from my high school, which was Edmonds, which doesn't exist anymore. It's now Edmonds Woodway, but we were the only girls basketball team from Edmonds High School to ever make the state tournament. Angie McGuire, shout out to you. You were on that team with me. And I had wonderful memories and wonderful opportunities. I also want to say thank you to all of my teammates that I had, both on my basketball teams as well as on my cross country and track teams, both in high school and college, because like a lot of people have mentioned, you can't have success as a team with just one person. And actually, cross country is a really interesting sport. Maybe some of you don't know, but in cross country, 5 people score. And so you get first and you score 1 point, low score wins. That's great, but if your fifth runner is 150th, now you have all of those points in between. So every single runner matters and every single runner counts. And so your team is incredibly important. You can't have 2 of your 5 players on a basketball court score. Everyone scores. And so every one of your teammates matters. And so I'm thankful to my teammates over the years for those opportunities for state championships, to compete on the national stage, and for all of those conference championships. I'm also just thankful for the opportunities I had growing up in Snohomish County. As a young girl, I got to play all kinds of sports. I played softball, I played basketball, I played soccer. Eventually I ran, but I did all of those things. And I'm really lucky that I ended up at the University of Oregon. Probably wouldn't have ended up there if it wasn't for Mr. Campbell, who kind of guided me in that direction, where I was developed by my coach, Tom Heinen, in there, and I'm thankful to him. You know, a lot of times you hear about all the things that happen to people that are wonderful in sport, but there's a lot of times that are really awful and really hard, and there's failure, and there's those times, you know, late in the gym, like someone talked about, or you have a bad race, and it hurts and it doesn't go well, but you keep driving yourself because you want to get to that next opportunity that's going to feel good and that's going to be successful. And behind all of those successes were failures that happened first before you got to that point. And so I think it's worth it in the end for those people who do sport, for what you may feel when you have a good day out there. I also just want to say I'm thankful for having been I'm older than almost all these other people. I was an early beneficiary of Title IX opportunities for young women, starting to play sports in like 3rd grade. Now kids are starting in kindergarten, of course, but I got to start young. And my mother, who I think some of you know, her name is Elaine Klein. She's no longer with us, but she was a longtime educator in Snohomish County, and she was so thrilled about the opportunities that young girls had in sports. And she could see that as an educator, as a teacher and a principal, how it impacted girls to get those opportunities in sport and put them on the same field in terms of leadership and confidence that the boys had once they could play sports as well. And so I'm thankful for having those opportunities, and I hope we continue to have those opportunities for young girls and for women. And she gave me a lot of opportunities growing up. Finally, I just want to say thank you to my family that's here with me. My husband, I live in Boise now. I'm an attorney in Boise, Idaho, and we came over today, so I'm thankful that he's here with me. My kids, my daughter's running in college, so she's not here, and my son's in high school and has to be in school because study hard, learn lots, as my mother, the educator, always said. So we wouldn't want to miss school, but also thankful to my coaches that are here, as well as my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, and our family friend, John, all of whom grew up in Snohomish County, I would say, and so I would note that as well. And so I just want to say, again, thank you to Snohomish County and to the Sports Commission for this wonderful event tonight, and thank you for all of you for being here.
Kylan Munoz graduated from Monroe High School in 2009, and as a senior was the Washington Gatorade High School Volleyball Player of the Year. After initially committing to play at BYU, she instead decided to enroll at the University of Washington, and she never regretted that decision. In 2012, as a senior, Kylan was a top-ranked outside hitter in Pac-12 and helped power the Huskies to a 3-2 win over Hawaii in the NCAA volleyball second round. She earned her first All-Pac-12 honorable mention and All-Pacific Region honorable mention as well. During her 2012 season, she was named the LSU Tiger Classic Volleyball Tournament team and the Northwest Challenge Volleyball All-Tournament team. Munoz was also Pac-12 All-Academic honorable mention all 4 of her years on Montlake. In 2013, she was named the Herald's Woman of the Year in Sports. After graduating from the UW, Munoz spent time with the women's U.S. national team and played professionally overseas in Hamburg. Munoz has held coaching positions at Utah Valley University and Loyola Marymount. She is currently the assistant women's volleyball coach at the University of Minnesota. Tonight, she's a brand new member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame. Kylan Munoz is unable to attend this evening, but we have a video.
Hi everyone, I'm Kai. I am celebrating you all from afar. I'm in Minneapolis. I coach at the University of Minnesota, the Gophers women's volleyball team. I have a long list of thank yous because it's been really fun reflecting back on my playing career and all the amazing people that I have crossed paths with. I first wanted to recognize Rich and Barbara. Thank you so much for nominating me and just being a huge advocate of female athletics in our area. I am grateful for all the amazing coaches I've had: Shannon Pratt, Dave Weidel, Don Hansen, Ken Ogundara, Leslie Gabriel, Jim McLaughlin, save the best for last. My own mom, thank you for giving up your career so that I one day would be able to graduate from your alma mater. Your resilience and example, I just we'll start crying, so we won't even go there. I'm also really grateful for lifelong friends and teammates, Rachel and Caitlin. I wouldn't have started playing if it wasn't for you too. You have always been an example of ambition in my life, as well as Jenna Orlandini and my Washington teammates. Thank you for pushing me, for putting up with me, and being part of some of my favorite life memories on the court. I also wanted to say thank you to, and also apologize to this teammate. I actually played with her the least, but my own sister, we competed our whole lives, but I was really grateful to be your teammate, and I'm grateful, even more grateful to have you as a sister. To my own dad, who is the biggest Seattle sports fan you'll know, thank you for your altruism, and I really do miss driving to practice with you and our long conversations in the car. Some of my favorite childhood memories. To what I call my fun parents, the Shovers, Dr. Nolte and the Drews, thank you for helping raise me, as well as my extended family. Thank you for being in the bleachers all around the country, supporting me. To my husband, volleyball was what kind of brought us together, and it's been fun to coach together now in this new phase of life. And I'm grateful for the village of support, and I'm grateful for this sport and that I'm still able to be a part of it. So I feel honored to be recognized tonight, as well as all the amazing athletes, and wanted to send my congratulations. So thank you again.
Accepting on behalf of Kylan Munoz is Hall of Famer Rich Haldy.
It's just me again, but I'm doing this tonight because Kylan's two representatives were unable to come at the last minute. Barbara and I nominated Kylan, and we got to the point of nominating her because we took our granddaughter, Mia, where's Mia, over there, when she was a young girl playing volleyball. So we take her to a UW volleyball game one night with her friend, and that's where I learned about Kylan Munoz. So I followed her and read more about what she did in high school and beyond college. So I nominated her, and she was selected to be an inductee this year. And so I thought, well, I nominated her, so I'll be her inductee ambassador, and I just had a really great time doing that, and so did Barbara. And then she told me she couldn't, her two representatives couldn't be here. So I said, well, we'll find somebody for you. And I was going to go to Monroe High School and see what they could do. And she said, no, I want you to do it. So here I am. And I want to tell you, I didn't know about this when I nominated her, but I read later, get this, that she's 6'1", she has a great vertical leap, and she hangs in the air. So if you're a spiker in volleyball and you can go vertically high and hang there to see what everybody's doing and then spike it, isn't that an advantage? Seems like it would be. Anyway, I'm really honored to accept this for Kylan tonight, and we're going to follow up with her. And thank you again. She's very honored. She wished she could be here, but she just couldn't. Thank you again.
Jim Olam is a proud Snohomish Panther and graduated in the class of 1963. As a junior, he struck out 22 batters in a 12-inning game at Cedro-Woolley, then came back in a regulation 7-inning game at Anacortes and registered all 21 outs by strikeout 4 days later. We didn't know of such things like pitch counts back in those days. Jim had 5 no-hitters and 5 one-hitters during his high school baseball career. Olam signed with the New York Yankees at age 17 in 1963, started his professional career in the Appalachian League, where he led the league in strikeouts and made the All-Star team. Jim won 20 games in '66 for the Denver Bears of the Pacific Coast League and was named the 1966 Most Valuable Player for the PCL. In September '66, pitching for the Minnesota Twins, his first major league start was in Yankee Stadium, where he gave up a single to Mickey Mantle and then retired 18 in a row. He pitched 21 games for Minnesota in 1967. He was teammates with Hall of Famers Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, and Jim Cott. I've heard of those guys. Jim retired from the game in 1970, having appeared in 212 professional games and posting a 65 and 58 record. For decades, Jim has been devoted to volunteering his time mentoring and coaching American Legion and Little League Baseball, also active with the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association. Seems long overdue. Would you please welcome the newest member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame, Jim Olam.
I would have to agree with a few of the other people. It's much easier pitching in Yankee Stadium in front of 40,000 people than it is to stand up here. But I'm very proud and very honored to be selected in the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame. And I'd like to thank the Snohomish County Hall of Fame Committee for choosing me. It's sincerely a great honor. And I'd like to thank Barbara and Rich Haldy for all of the hard work they did on putting together the memorabilia tables. That is just a huge amount of work. And thank you very much. I was going to name the people that helped nominate me, but I would use up all my time. I'm very proud of my family, my son Mike, Beth and Andrew, my daughter Susie, Bob, Leah and Brandon, and my son Joe, Priscilla, Addison, Gabby, and Ryan, and my beautiful partner and companion, Farrah Goodwin. In 110 years of Snohomish County baseball, 6 people have made it to the major leagues. I happen to be one of those, and I'm very proud of that. In 1966, I was a professional athlete of the year for the state of Colorado. And that same year, I was the most valuable player in the Pacific Coast League. I can promise you, this award on a personal level means much more to me than either one of those awards. Oh, and also forgot to mention, Early Wynn was a 300-game winner. He was my pitching coach in Minnesota. And one of my coaches was Billy Martin, and I love that guy. I want to thank especially my high school coaches who were like the most wonderful people. And I can tell you something about coaches. They don't know everything, but everything they know, they will teach you if you pay attention. I'd like to thank Mr. Cowles, Gilbertson, Rodlin, Gunderson, Copeland, DeCubber, and Johnny Miles, who was my high school baseball coach. When I was a sophomore, the very first game, I was sitting on the bench. The guy who started the game was a senior. He loaded the bases. Mr. Miles put me in, and I struck out the side, and I pitched every inning of every game all the way through high school. But I can tell you right now, I didn't know at all how good I was. He could have left me on the bench for the whole year, and I would have just hoped to get a chance to pitch once in a while. But your coaches, they see what you do not see. I had a very humble beginning, and I've got a time frame, so I got to make it quick. But I'm a farm boy from Snohomish, 2 miles east of Snohomish on a gravel road. Our house had no foundation, no insulation. We had no running water. We brought water in from the pump outside, drank it with a dipper. We had an outhouse, no refrigerator. We had an ice box, and we went into Harvey Field in Snohomish and got ice.
My uncle, my two biggest heroes in Snohomish and at Averill Field was Herb Hammonds and my Uncle Lemar. They pitched on the team. That was Disneyland for me. That's where my dreams started in the middle 50s when I was about 8 years old. And my uncle gave me one time 9 baseballs from the Pilchuckers. I found an old mattress and put it up against our root cellar. I got a gunny sack out of the barn. I put dirt in it and shaped it like home plate. And I measured off 60 feet 6 inches. And I can promise you, I threw thousands of balls at that mattress, and I worked on my curveball because I didn't have anyone to work with me on it. I learned it out of a book by Bob Feller showing how to throw a knuckle curve. And I also need to thank Snohomish County in a big way for my success. When I was in the 9th grade, I was a Snohomish County free throw champion. I won in Snohomish. I wasn't a good basketball player, but I was a good free throw shooter. So I won in Snohomish, and then Mr. Gilbertson took me over to Cascade High School for the shoot-off. When I was 13, I was the only 13-year-old on the Snohomish County Babe Ruth League All-Star team. We won in the regionals, and then we went to the state tournament in Tacoma. It's the first time I ever stayed in a hotel. In one of the games, I didn't get to pitch a lot because I was by far the youngest. I did strike out 4 in 1 inning. The catcher missed the ball and the guy got to first. So I struck out the next guy. So in closing, I'd just like to say this is very humbling and it's a great honor, and never ever in my life did I ever think I would get something like this. Thank you.
Coach Hammonds, I think he's got a couple more innings in him. I think you could probably put him out there. And now, the coaches. Rick Anderson was a 1975 Mariner High School graduate where he was an all-state pitcher. He went on to play baseball at Everett Community College and was a 2-year, 19-game winner. After EVCC, it was on to the University of Washington. As a junior in 1978, he led the Huskies in starts and complete games and helped the Huskies record their first winning season in 12 years. The New York Mets drafted Anderson in the 24th round of the 1978 MLB draft, and he began his professional career with Little Falls of the New York Penn League. After 8 years toiling in the minors, the New York Mets called him up to the big leagues. He won a World Series with the Mets in 1986. After playing in New York for an additional season, he joined the Kansas City Royals, where he played until 1988. Anderson retired as a player and accepted a job as pitching coach for the Gulf Coast League Twins. He spent 13 seasons as a minor league coach, the last 7 years at the AAA level. During this time, Rick was named minor league AAA pitching coach of the year. In 2002, he was named the Minnesota Twins pitching coach, where he remained until 2014, 12 years on the staff. During that time, the Twins reached the postseason 6 times in the first 9 seasons under Ron Gardenhire and Rick Anderson. He was named the Detroit bullpen coach for the 2018 season and later promoted to pitching coach for the Tigers and served in that capacity through the 2020 season. He was an inaugural inductee into the Everett Community College Athletics Hall of Fame, and as of tonight, Rick Anderson is a member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame. Rick's not here, unable to attend. We have a video.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Snohomish County Hall of Fame Induction Committee. Man, this was a surprise and it's quite an honor. Growing up in South Everett and being elected for something like this, wow, pretty cool. I've been blessed along the way to have many good coaches and teammates, and I owe a lot of my success to them. So many of them are still my best friends, and one of my best friends I've met along the way is Louis Stevenson, Everett High School coach and fellow inductee. But I love talking with Louie because we talk baseball and we talk old stories and excuse me, and it seems like it was yesterday. Also, another one of my good friends that's going to be there tonight is Jim McDowell. He's going to be accepting the award for me, and met him through growing up playing ball. He went to Cascade. I went to Mariner High School, and we're still best of friends. And I'm very honored to have him accept this award for me. But Jimmy, just don't roast me. I know you can be tough on me, but please say some good things about me, will you? Will you? Anyway, so I can't wait to get up there and when I visit my family. I got a lot of family up there and friends and that I have and along the way, and I go through the Hall of Fame. I heard it's some kind of experience, and it's going to be special. And I know I'm going to spend a couple days up there and enjoy every minute of it. So again, I'm deeply honored, and thank you so much. And I'm sorry I can't be there tonight, but I know you guys are all going to have a good time. Thank you.
And here is Jim McDowell to accept his award.
Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video,
Obviously,
we're
I'm
going to
not
do a really
Rick.
fun
He's too
landscape. We're
short.
doing this Australian
So,
sea coastline. It's called the 12
anyway,
Apostles coastline there in Australia.
I'm here to
So,
accept the award
I'm
on
looking
behalf
forward
of
to painting
Rick,
this for you today. I'll show you step by step
good
how to do it
friend
from start to
forever.
finish. Got my husband Mark with me.
Hey there,
Andy
everybody.
was never one to talk about himself. He always liked to listen to what everything else was going on, in his hometown. And so I'll be the one that gets to do it for him. In our little baseball circle of friends, we all know Andy is a good pitcher and ball player. He was always a stand-up guy and a great friend. Our memories of Stratomatic baseball and late-night ball games as kids and raising our kids at the same time, memories that I'll never forget. As a young pitcher, Rick was known as the little guy with the big curveball. But truth be told, Andy was always able to control his games by moving the ball around the strike zone, learning how to pitch first. Wasn't, a velocity guy. Never believed in the different modern day things that are going on with pitching today. He was old school in the game, never worried about spin rate or any of that. The only thing that mattered to Andy is just getting outs, before they scored runs. As a coach, I think a lot of Andy's success came from his old school ways of playing. And I think he was able to communicate that with his players. In his 28 years as a big league pitching coach, Andy developed many young pitchers into successful major league pitchers. During that time with the Minnesota Twins, he deserved a lot of credit and was given a lot of credit by Johan Santana the year that he won the Cy Young. I am proud to be Andy's friend and teammate. He had taught me a lot over the years about life and baseball. I'm honored to accept this award on behalf of him and can't think of anyone more deserving than he is. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, what is it about the class of '63? Jim Olam, Snohomish '63, John Casebeer, 1963 Edmonds High School graduate, who was a 3-year varsity letter winner in cross country and wrestling. As a high school athlete, John was a state wrestling champion in 1963 at 123 pounds. He then attended Everett Junior College for 1 year in 1964 and placed second in the Community College State Championships. Yes, kids, there was community college wrestling in those days. A year after Everett CC, he transferred to Central and placed third in the NAIA National Tournament in 1968. He earned All-American honors that year under Hall of Fame coach Eric Beardsley. Following his athletic career, John's first teaching and coaching job was in the Edmonds School District. 10 years at Alderwood Junior High, 5 years at Mount Lake Terrace High School, 18 years at Briar Middle School, plus a wrestling referee for 27 years. John coached 25 state participants, 1 state championship. Among those students are Randy Couture, a 2015 Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame inductee, as well as Greg Ortega and Blaine Gilchrist. Coach Casebeer was inducted into the Washington State Wrestling Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2015. The following year, he was inducted into the Edmonds Woodway Athletic Hall of Fame. And now in 2023, John Casebeer, the newest member of the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame. John Casebeer. It's on.
Wow, what a night, huh? Meet all these great and powerful coaches. You know, the only thing missing here is a casket that I could lay in. But it's been a really, you know, in '68 was a great year for me. I was able to wrestle in college and finish my college career. I met this gal on a motorcycle. We rode through the sprinklers at Ellensburg, and today she's still with me. And you know, she's a great leg rider. I'm not going to embarrass her, but she really can use the Turk. For you guys who don't know what that is, it's a pretty good wrestling move for a leg wrestler. You know, one of the things with I see these basketball players, these tall guys, they'd have made great cradlers, but they chose the hoop instead. So anyway, in '68 we did get married, and we still are. And it's just, you know, I've been blessed. God has blessed me so much my whole life. But he blessed me with I probably coached, 1,700 kids. And, you know, those kids, I liked every one of them. I loved them all. And some of them are still with me today. I got a few of them over here at the table. And it was just, it's been a wonderful ride, because the thing that makes coaching fun is kids, period. If you show them what they need to know, and they're successful, they become your forever friend. And I've really been blessed with that. I still have several of them that contact me and visit with me. The wrestling part was fun. Refereeing was extremely fun, except the old body just said, enough is enough. So I gave her up a couple years ago. But I started this sport in 1959, and I don't know what the math is on that, but it's a couple years. And, you know, they've been great years. I've just met some wonderful kids, now adults. And it's just been a real blessing. And I really feel very honored to be here amongst all these really great people. Not that I'm one of them, but it's just been a great honor. And I thank you very much for coming. And we'll see you again.
And now the team. And look how they followed instructions. When John Casebeer comes up, everybody line up over by the windows. Look at that. In the spring of 1987, the Cascade High School boys soccer team went 20-0, winning the program's first state championship. The team was 4-0 in the state tournament, outscored opposing teams 9-3. This was also the first of 5 consecutive years that the Bruins played in the state championship game. Led by head coach Pat Sullivan, the Bruins outscored their opponents 75-11 en route to winning their 7th Westco championship and making the first of 5 consecutive state title game appearances. This team also contained high school All-Americans and athletes that went on to play at Duke, UCLA, Seattle Pacific, Washington, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Santa Clara, San Diego State, and Western Washington. On the road to the state championship, the Bruins beat Port Angeles 3-0, Kentwood 1-0, Woodinville 3-2, and Kennedy Catholic, they were Kennedy then, 2-1 in the title game. Tonight, the Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame welcomes the 1987 Cascade Bruins State Championship soccer team. Please welcome Eric Amundsen. I do. Clint Carnell. We're going to do pictures with everybody. David Carney. David Clark. Jason French. Sean Henderson. Ryan Larson. Doug Morrill. Marcus Oos. I'm told to slow down. We caught up? Let's do it. Gaston Fan. Max Tien Fan. Gary Price. Jamie Thilmany. John Wilson. Scott Wilson. The head coach was Pat Sullivan. His son is here, Riley Sullivan. And co-captains Jamie Gay and Noel Soderblom.
All right, well, we're excited that we're at the end of the evening, and I think we get 2 to 3 minutes per person, so that's 45 minutes, so we'll keep you here a little while. Okay. No, we're very honored to be here, and thank you to the Snohomish County Sports Commission for nominating us. This is a great honor for our team. We wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that while there are 15 or 16 of us here, there's some that couldn't make it tonight. That includes Corey Ingebrigtsen, Keith Smith, TJ Wader, Brian Winther, Eric Christensen, Chris Henderson, Coach Pat Sullivan was mentioned, and then we really would like to specifically mention one of the key members of our team who passed away in 2016, Phil Bartlow. Okay, Jamie will go louder.
Closer to the mouth. So again, thanks to the Snohomish County Hall of Fame, Jane Smoke and Roberta Hasted specifically. And thanks to these lifelong friends. As a matter of fact, John just talked about that and how these are our people. And thanks to these lifelong friends who we grew up together and now growing old together. I don't know what the scores were of all the games, but I remember all of these guys. And if we really want to know what the record was, we could just look at John's tattoo, which says 20-0 state champs on it. So I remember these guys fondly, and now we're like cheering for each other's friends, or sons and daughters rather. Like right now, Phil Bartlow's son just playing against, who plays for Houston Dynamo, just playing against Chris Henderson's team and Messi in the U.S. Open Cup tonight. This was a fun team, 13 seniors and some star-studded underclassmen that we all wanted to be great for. A head coach who was well-respected and that we wanted to win for as well. So respected that when Sullivan told you to go pick up a bucket of rocks out of our dirt soccer field, not our Disneyland, you gladly went and got a bucket of rocks so that Clint could score another goal and Chris could dribble away during practice from everybody. That is until Jamie Thilmany got fed up enough and dumped him on the ground, which then Sullivan got to use his favorite phrase, Jesus, Joseph, and Mary Thilmany. 1987, as mentioned, was our 7th consecutive Wesco championship, but that was just a start. Like, we wanted more now that we were champions so many times before, and started that 5 consecutive WIA state championship game appearances with a title in 87, title again in 89, and then a few years later in 95 with the 3rd championship for Cascade. I got to play with a lot of great lifelong friends, and glad that they're still friends. Congratulations to all the inductees tonight. And thanks for the honor and this awesome show. Thanks. Oh, and, that's right, and for Cascade, the representative's not here, but we'll take this to Cascade so that this can stay with Cascade forever. Thank you.
Just a reminder to all the inductees, they're going to take pictures, so follow that team right there, and that's where you're going to get your picture done. That's it, we're done. Thanks for coming out this evening. Please drive carefully. My name is Tom Lafferty. We'll see you next year for the 2024 Snohomish County Sports Hall of Fame Induction Banquet. Good night, everybody.